Hi guys! So, Elsie Fest was yesterday. I was not there, unfortunately. I was flying in that morning from away, and I guess if I was really hardcore, I could have gone straight from the airport to Elsie Fest. If I really wanted to, could have gotten the ticket and done that anyway, but I'm unfortunately not that hardcore, so I basically came home and then went to sleep. I am super looking forward to watching all the videos on YouTube though. I'm so disappointed that I wasn't able to be there. I mean, besides the Be More Chill crew getting their chance this year, I saw like Grant Gustin is on the lineup. That's super exciting. Alex Newell, Sutton Foster. I just am really looking forward to watching the YouTube videos. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video is because I wanted to show you this! Look what I'm wearing! Huh? I've got this awesome Hufflepuff skirt. I made this myself. It has pockets, and that's not all. Ta-da! I've got a bag too! Marauders bag. Print bag. It's a shoulder bag. Right now it's empty, there's nothing in it. But I have been using it for the past week as a purse. It's got a zipper pouch on the front here. Right? There's a main zipper that leads inside of the bag. There's a shoulder straps, handles for ease of carrying. I've noticed that when you have a shoulder bag, if you're just trying to grab it off a table or something, it's easier if it's a shorter handle. Inside the bag, I've got another zipper pouch. This one opens up. You can see the blueprint in there. Very exciting. And I've even made this bag so that if you wanted to, it's totally reversible. I probably wouldn't do it with this bag so much because it's just a white lining on the inside there. So it'd be a white bag with Marauder print on the inside. Who really wants that? But if you were to make this bag out of a different fabrics, you might want it to make it reversible. I love my new skirt and my new bag. They're my birthday gifts to me. Let me explain. The few weeks ago, I was at a friend's house and she and her family were actually going out to Joann's fabric store because her brother needed some fabric to work on reupholstering a part of the truck that he's bought and he's been repairing or something like that. So I went with them, and the moment we walked in the door, right by the door, they knew what they were doing. There was this display of Harry Potter print fabrics. I was in love. I was like, oh my god, like if I knew how to sew, I could use these. I could make a skirt or something. Now, I cannot sew, but I was really determined. So I went home. My mom let me take a bunch of practice fabric from my grandmother's house that was like, kind of like ugly fabric that no one really wanted to use. And she also gave me this pattern, super old. There's a lot of old patterns. Many of them are older than this, but this is a pattern for like some sort of shirt, skirt combo in two styles, like this version here with short sleeves and a headscarf, and then this one here was a shorter skirt with long sleeves. And I was like, oh, I can adapt this somehow. I want my skirt to be shorter than that, but whatever. So I was working on it. It was so frustrating. Trying to make heads or tails of this, the pattern was spread all over the floor. I swear I was reading those instructions like, wait, what is this? Does it just not close? Why wouldn't it close? That's dumb. Like, I need to replace this part. let me cut this. Oh my god, the inches are wrong. Okay, I have to make this bigger here, so I'll cut it, leave a few more inches here. Oh, now the pockets are in the wrong place. It was like a mess. But I tried, you know. And then I also watched about a million YouTube videos, and I made practice skirt after practice skirt. Same thing with the bags. I really wanted a bag, so I made loads of practice bags following YouTube videos. Some of them I was mixing and matching things. I made bags in all sorts of different styles, like a typical messenger bag that I made as a Newsies bag, sort of. At first, that one is where I noticed that I might have a little trouble grabbing a bag off a table or something. If it only has a really long strap for a handle, I might want to add like shorter bag handles if I made one. I've made origami bags that I tried different methods of sealing them, putting a snap in, putting buttons, no, not buttons, putting zippers in weird places. It was all, some of the things that I made for practice, I didn't even really bother finishing. I like cut them and I sort of like pinned the fabric together in places. Like, this is how it would go, but I don't feel like actually pinning it. But I worked really hard on that. Finally, I decided I was ready. Just in time, on my birthday, I went to the store. I bought myself this Hufflepuff fabric that I used on my skirt and the Marauders matte print fabric that I used for the bag. Actually, my original plan was just to use Hufflepuff print fabric and like yellow. Like I was gonna make maybe a yellow bag that the inside was Hufflepuff print and then it could be reversible or things like that. But once I actually got there and I looked at the fabrics, I decided I didn't really want to do that with that particular print. So I was looking at I got really distracted for a while in the fabric store looking at all the different prints they had. It was amazing. I ended up going with the Marauders one, which honestly, I've actually never been as into the Marauders as some of the other members of the Harry Potter fandom. I've always been more invested in, the trio rather than the Marauders era. But this print just looks so cool. I mean, look at it. It's gorgeous. So I had to use it. Because I had made so many different practice bags, I ended up sort of picking and choosing things I liked the most about different bags and sort of inventing my own little bag pattern for this one. I kind of wanted the look and feel of the hobo bag where the front just sort of turns into the straps, but I also wanted to try to conserve fabric, be a little smarter about it, make the strap different. I wanted to add the handles. Like I said, I thought that'd be easier. I wanted it to be reversible. I wanted the pockets, I wanted it to be practical enough because the origami bags, for example, I thought they looked cool on a small scale, but when they were bigger, it could get kind of weird when I stuffed a bunch of stuff into it, and I wanted more storage space rather than less. Basically, I did a whole lot of experimenting before I actually sat down to make these things. I had some troubles with the skirts where I kept on messing up the waistband. I don't know, I made a skirt with an invisible zipper. It does have a problem where the zipper always gets caught on this one part where the seam of the waistband meets the skirt, but other than that, it's all right. I mean, besides also being made of this ugly fabric. I tried making a skirt and then it was way too short and I don't know how that happened, and then I was trying to do math, so much math. I kept calling my brother and like, Michael, help me do math. And he was like, are you kidding me right now? But, so I finally got this. I keep having this problem where I make a waistband and I even try the waistband on and it's the perfect size. It goes around my, my true waist. But then like once I actually make it into a skirt, it seems like it's too big or it hangs lower than I want it to. Maybe the fabric's weighing it down. I'm not sure. I ended up going with this sort of half circle skirt with an exposed waistband that I have now. This is actually exposed elastic waistband here. And I had to add pockets, obviously. None of the videos online said anything about how to add pockets to a half circle skirt. So I just figured it out. I was like, it just seems like simple logic, you know. I made it a high-low skirt because I just thought that would look cool, which also, you know, I had to futz about with trying to figure out how to conserve fabric when I was cutting that. Lots of experimentation. I think it worked out pretty well. I have been putting this bag through its paces for the last week. I've putting so much stuff in it. I've been wearing it every day. So I can see where I might still need to make some corrections. For the most part, it held up really well. It functioned very well. The pockets were all deep enough and wide enough for everything I needed. The reinforcement I did here at the strap actually did hold very well. I was worried about it because I made it and I know that I am actually very inexperienced. So I was a little worried the bag was going to fall apart, but it seems to have held up all right there. I think the main problem that I ended up having was that I think I used interfacing wrong. I thought I was putting interfacing in the bag, which all the videos seem to think was a really important thing to do, but I'm pretty sure that the item I took out of my mom's box of sewing materials to try to make this was not actually interfacing. It was like this roll of paper that was all bumpy on one side so you could iron it on. I thought that seemed right. I put it on some of the seams inside, but it's like paper. It's a crinkly paper. You can still hear it crinkling in there. I don't know if you can hear this, but it's like a crinkly paper in the bag now, which I feel like is not right. Also, because it was just strips, when I was trying to reinforce the parts where the pockets would be on the zipper pockets, you know, it's just like little strips, so I didn't really feel like making a whole panel of it. Plus the seam where the strips would be next to each other, like there's seams, so those are vulnerabilities. I put it mostly just around the area where the actual zipper was going to go in the pocket and left the rest of the fabric alone. But that did end up causing a little bit of a problem. I'm going to show you this. In this pocket, the seam, the lining has actually ripped now. Where the seam was right at the edge of the zipper, right here, at where that line is where the paper interfacing ends, and also where some stitching is, and that has ripped. So, you know, I can sew that up, obviously, just to repair this bag. Another thing that I'm a little worried about is that I glued fabric onto the ends of the zippers just in order to make it look nicer and stuff. But the zipper end has this plastic that's too hard for a needle to get through, so I couldn't sew them on to the zipper, so I just sort of hot glued them in place. But I'm really worried about them. I've been opening and closing the zipper a lot over the past week, and I think that these little fabric patches are kind of like, they might just come off one day. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I can sew a little bit in the softer part of the zipper and sew it around, hand stitch it on. I'll figure it out, I'm sure. But overall, I think this is pretty good. I combined every technique that I liked, that I figured out. Boxed corners at the bottom, you know, things like that. I wish the strap wouldn't roll around so much. I wanted it to stay, you know, more flat rather than wrinkling up like this. So I don't know how I would fix that. Maybe if I figure out this interfacing thing, I could put some in the strap. Maybe if I did some, you know, top stitching here or something. But overall, I think this is really, really good. I'm very proud of myself, especially considering I basically knew nothing about sewing when I started this. It took a lot of work, but I'm very glad. Making these sort of DIY things is like, you know, even if it seems like a task that you really have a large challenge ahead of you, I hope that this video shows that you can do it. Like, just put your mind to it. I made a whole bunch of practice skirts and bags, and then I made these, and I think they turned out really well. there's a lot of even just little things. If you are looking for something and it's not exactly what you want, like, you can do it, make it yourself. This necklace even, I wasn't going to talk about this, this was unplanned, but this necklace here, like this beautiful snitch necklace, this was a bracelet that I bought. It had this stitch charm, but it was just this little bracelet chain, and I remember looking at it and thinking, oh my gosh, I love the snitch, but I really wish this was like a necklace instead of a bracelet, because I don't really wear bracelets too much. This is a hair tie, not a bracelet. I feel like they clink around, they hit things when I try to grab stuff, they could get damaged, they could damage the thing I'm working on or with my hands or anything like that. So I was like, oh, if only I had a longer chain for a necklace, why not do it? So I bought the necklace, I went to Michael's or AC Moore, I don't remember which one, and I just bought a chain, and I installed the chain, I replaced the chain on the bracelet so that it became this necklace. I found this really nice one. It's sort of matched in color, and it has this really nice pattern even, actually, which the original chain didn't have. But I thought it kind of emulated the snitch feel, so it worked out. Basically, like, don't be afraid to try something new. If there's something that you really want, I guarantee you it is possible. There's a lot of things, I know I should take my own advice, there's a lot of things I wish I could do that I keep thinking, oh my god, but I don't have the resources, I have no idea where I'd even start with that. Like, there are a lot of things that I have wanted to figure out that I've never been brave enough to try to do, like making molds of things in order to produce like my own little items, figurines and stuff like that. I know that people do that all the time, but I have no idea how. I am terrified to even try to figure that out, but I think I should, it's learn something new. And once you do know, then it opens the door for all this new stuff you can do. Lots of possibilities. It's a bright, beautiful tomorrow. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.